John Candy was the first SCTVer to aim for movie stardom. He now hosts his own syndicated radio show. He signed with HBO to star in and produce a number of specials, and his movie career flourishes.
What a pleasure to be here with you again. It is. It's a pleasure to see you.
Well, it's always great being here.
Thank you.
I don't do a lot of interviews. I think
Why
this
don't
is it.
you? What's happened to you? What's happened in the last few years? There are people who saying you're difficult.
Really?
You difficult?
I'm not difficult. You know that.
I'm teasing you.
Okay.
Why
Who
don't
said it,
you?
Brian? I want names.
David Letterman.
Really?
Well, you know what Shirley MacLaine and Cher
there you go,
said
there
about
you
him.
go. Yeah, that's true. In what life?
Don't start.
All right.
Because we'll have to do them all.
Won't get into it. All right.
Have you read any of her books?
Yeah. And
What do you think?
I got halfway through and went, I not for me. Didn't understand a lot of it. Went, okay. Sorry, I'll
Did you say
get
yes?
into some lighter reading somewhere.
Back
Pull
to
my
Nietzsche.
Far Side book out and start looking at that.
Do you like the Far Side?
Yeah, Gary
Aren't they
Larson.
great?
It's hysterical. That's my daily calendar, is a Far Side calendar. Just always gives you a nice laugh in the morning.
Has your family adjusted to living in California? I mean, are they a complete California family now?
To an extent, yeah. Jennifer is very much, when are we going back to Toronto? This was home for her. Christopher's too young. He remembers it, and it's great to come back here in the summer when we go to the farm. And has great memories of that, but I think that's more home for him now. Los Angeles is more home for him. But Jennifer's still adamant about it, you know. Whenever I start, well, should we move back or not? Just every time I read something in the paper about a crime or something going on, what are we doing down here? We should go back to Toronto. And Rose says, well, it's no different there. The crime rate is going up there too. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And Jennifer said, well, we could move back, It's not a bad idea. I don't mind leaving.
How old is Jennifer?
9.
She's 9.
9.
I'm just wondering, John, because of your relationship with your own children, are there things in your life with your wife, Rose, and your daughter, Jennifer, and your son, Christopher, that you incorporated into Uncle Buck? Did you have moments where you said, hey, hold it, I know what this line needs or what this moment should really have?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the whole attitude in acting with the two kids in the movie was based on my relationship with Jennifer and Christopher and how I would deal with them. And I dealt with each one differently, as I do my kids, but the one thing I never talked down to them at all. And in the movie, Uncle Buck doesn't talk down to these kids. I think that's why they like him. He treats them as an equal, and they like that, and they're given that respect and that self-esteem, and that comes across. And John had mentioned to me after, he says, you dealt with each one differently. I said, well, yeah. See, he was so focused on certain areas, he missed some of the things, he saw it later. But that's why we work well. I mean, he covers one side, and I'll cover the other side, and put them all together. I mean, I don't know what he does over there half the time. When I look at it, I go, gee, how did he do that? I didn't know they were shooting like that.
You've had tremendous success recently, not just doing Uncle Buck, but also the radio. What is going on with Radio Candy and the new children's show? I mean, how many things are you doing?
I don't know. Things just started evolving. I mean, I did it for no other reason. I just enjoyed doing the show. Doug Thompson, who's producing the show, I've known for years in Toronto. And we did a radio show here about 3 years ago called Rock 30. And then that radio show with John Candy, we did a 90-minute show for a year here. And we left it, and I moved down to the States, and Doug said, would you want to do anything down in the States? We could maybe find out here if we want to do anything. Ask around, and we went to Transtar. I said, yeah, okay. Because it was enjoyable. I loved doing it. It didn't take a great deal of time, but it was fun, and I always loved music, and radio was just, a ball. Didn't pay any money, but it was fun. So we thought, well, let's try it. Worst they can say is, no, get out. Or, even if we play in about 12 cities, it'd be fun, it'd be worthwhile. Well, the show sold us. We're in 300 markets now, and it keeps growing. We're not even in the New York market yet. And then apparently when you hit the New York market, you pick up about 40 or 50 more stations. It's wonderful because you can just vent a lot of things on there. I mean, I'm always making comments on what happened to Who's Harry Crumb or Hot to Trot. They're always reminding me of that one. Or Speed Zone now, we're taking some shots at that. I've been taking shots at TriStar Pictures for their non-campaign with Who's Harry Crumb. God, what a... There's a team for you.
They've had another management
team.
shuffle.
Yeah, and they all got promotions. Who was it said here? It was Don Herron who said this. He said it about the CBC. He says this is the only place where the milk rises. And it's true. These guys all, you know, they just sunk. I'm speaking about Harry Crumb. They sunk the picture, and they all got promotions for it. So they, hey, a bomb! All right, you know, give that guy a raise, give him a better office. God, what happened?
I thought the other line.
It was great. What TriStar did, a little story, just on my radio show, I was listening one day to a tape of it and to hear the how everything was connected and this and that, and some of the spots were in it, some of the commercials. So I'm hearing Fly 2 being advertised, I'm hearing Burbs advertised, I'm waiting for TriStar's Harry Crumb. We were opening around the same time. I didn't hear it through the whole show, so I call up TriStar in New York, David Madelon's office. He wasn't in, so I left word with the secretary. I'm saying, why wouldn't they advertise the show? You know, the movie we're opening this week. Why wouldn't they advertise on my radio show? It seems like a natural. So the next day they send a $5,000 check to TransStar, who distributes the show, and no tape. So they had no idea that you have to send a commercial too, because they didn't make any commercials. They had no radio campaign. I was like, why? It was funny asking, because I was executive producer, and I was asking them, well, what are we going to do week 2 of the campaign? How are we going to change it if we find that the demographics are going this way or that way? You know, if we have to attract more women into it, or we have to get the 18 to 35s group, what are we going to do? No, we only have one campaign. Why? It's the way we do things. Well, what if it changes? And it changes. There's no thought, no preparation. It was a great learning experience. It was a great learning experience.
Has all of this in the industry made you tougher, stronger?
Oh yeah, absolutely. More self-confidence. And I still have respect for people and their work and everything, but I question a lot more than I did before. You know, I'm not afraid. You know, what are they going to say to me? You know, just be straight. Just be straight. That's all I ask them to be with me, is just be straight. I'll be straight with you.
You had a wonderful script with the title Con Job. I think it was something about a prison taking over a town. Is that still active?
It was a college, actually. It was an old college that it was too costly to maintain. It was a real Ivy League community. And this independent money came in and said, well, we'll manage this prison. And the townspeople are up in arms against it. They don't want a prison there. And the Ivy has now turned to barbed wire and frost fencing, and it's 16-foot with gun towers around the old school. I played 3 characters in that. I played the female mayor of the town. I played Fingers O'Banion, who was one of the con men who was in the prison, because it was really a think tank for prisoners is what it was. The mastermind was, God, what was that fellow's name? Boris something or other, something crazy. And I don't know what's going on with that one now. I have to revive that. Thank you for reminding me of that one.
I thought it was a good idea when you told me about it.
It was a wonderful idea. I just described it poorly. I mean, I think I just sunk it myself by describing it. I'm a bad pitch man on these things.
How many scripts are sitting in your office waiting for consideration? Or do you have an original script you want to produce?
There's a Con Job I'm going to do now. Now that you bring that up, there's a few things sitting around. I'm reading. What just came in the other day from Harry Nilsson? Wrote with Terry Southern. I'm going to be reading that, and Dan Aykroyd wrote a script. I'm going to be looking at that.
Have you seen any footage from Ghostbusters 2?
No, I just buy the toys.
You buy the toys?
I just
you
buy
don't
the
have any
toys.
money left for the Batman stuff?
Yeah, well, why can't I get a movie like that?
Why don't you tell them?
I don't know. See, I should have been in Ghostbusters, but I guess I...
You should have been in Batman.
Yeah, that's it. That's true.
You should have been in Indiana Jones.
There you go.
You got to speak up.
That's right.
Where's your agent?
I'm going to hire you.
Where's your agent?
Would you be my agent?
What?
You're doing a better job right now.
Michael Ovitz will put me on the list.
Oh, jeez.
We'll never see the movie of Wired.
Oh, God.
Well, you may at a private screening.
No, thank you. I have no desire to see that.
Now, are you one of the
I have no
people
desire
in the
to see that.
industry who are off Wired as a movie?
Yeah.
Will you tell me why? Since nobody's seen it, John.
I don't see the need. I didn't see the need for the book, and I don't see the need for the movie. I mean, it's just, that's such a... Let it alone. Let Judy alone. Let John alone. Just let them alone. Why? Who needed it? You know, why do we have to drag that out? It's such dirty laundry.
We had a conversation once about an idea. There was a book called The Day the Laughter Died, The Life of Fatty Arbuckle.
Jeez, people have been asking about that one.
You know why?
Lately.
Because
Gore Vidal wants to write a script about it. And everybody, it just doesn't interest me.
It still doesn't.
No.
It's such a great story.
It's a wonderful story, but I don't think anybody cares. It's great reading, but I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see it. As I probably said the same thing back then. It's like W.C. Fields and Me, you know, which I didn't like. And Rod Steiger, to me, didn't do a great, you know, he did a good, you know, party W.C. Fields. But to see it through the whole movie, that wasn't Fields. And anytime anybody takes on a character, especially a comic character, well, the comic, the Carl Reiner movie, Dick Van Dyke, it was neat, but it wasn't great, you know? It was okay. And I don't want it to be just, hey, that was okay. And I don't know, it just doesn't interest me. The story doesn't interest me. It's a terrible story. Terrible days of Hollywood, too, with the Hays Commission and all that. And Billy Crystal wants to do it, because he wants to play Buster Keaton. I know he's working on a script to do. Gore Vidal is working on one. And then someone called the other day, and they've got, I don't know how many rights there are for this, but I've had about 5 separate offers on the Fatty Arbuckle story.
Is there a sense of disillusionment with the whole Canadian scene? Telefilm, things that are offered, not offered to you? Why are the majority of you, with the exception of Eugene Levy and Debbie Devine, who are not living in California, do you understand why they prefer living in Toronto with you living in California?
Well, they have their own personal reasons why they chose to stay here, family and what have you. And,
but you all have families.
But outside of that, I mean, they're not their immediate family, you know, Gene's family here and Deb's. I don't know. Gene lived down there. They both lived down there for a period of time, and he felt very complacent there, I think, and he didn't like it. He wasn't too keen on it. I mean, he got into it, but he wasn't working, you know. He wasn't, and Gene needs that office. He goes in and he's a banker when he writes. I mean, he really is. I respect it. I mean, and he's very disciplined. But down there, I think he was getting into some bad habits of writing and things that he didn't like. And he said, no, I can't work here. You know, he's sitting by the pool, and Gene's got a routine for everything. He's wonderful. He's a great friend. My first meeting with Eugene was we finished a morning rehearsal on Second City on the Fire Hall. We went over to this little greasy spoon, and Gene ordered a butter tart for dessert. We'd already eaten. Gene was still just getting his hamburger ready. I was kind of wondering, what the heck, who is this guy? You know, it's just taking him forever to eat. We're like gone in 5 minutes. Gene is like half an hour to eat this burger. Then he orders a butter tart. And this doesn't have a great, you know, dessert tray over there. It's like 2 donuts and a butter tart. How old is that donut? I don't have the, does the butter tart have raisins in it? I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. Make up your mind. What do you want? A butter tart. Brings it over. Gene slices the top of it off, flips it over, picks the raisins out, and puts the top back on and eats it. What are you doing? Don't like raisins. Can't eat them. Why would you order it? I like the rest of the taste. Just can't stand that. And that's Eugene.
John, you just explained why he's not living in California. It's the raisins.
It's the raisins. California raisins.